I now invite Father Gabriel Osang to lead us in the invocation. In the absence of Father Osang, I would lead us in an opening prayer. Let us reverence God. Heavenly Father, as we stand here today as members of the Grenada Union of Teachers and the educators of Grenada, we ask that you lay your guidance, your hands, and your blessings upon the proceedings of this, the annual duty conference for 2024. We follow in your footsteps as we practice every day. So we ask a special blessing upon our actions, our deliberations, and our decisions. And with your guidance, we hope that all we discuss and all we decide upon will be for the benefit of our members and, by extension, the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We ask all of this in your name. Amen. I now invite, please take your seats.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. Can we all stand again, please? I know that you may be tired and maybe there are things on your mind that may want to deter you from worshiping God today, but we are here to give him praise, amen? We are here to honor him because he is good. He's excellent and he's majestic. He's God all by himself. If you are in agreement with me this morning, put your hands together for Jesus. Put your hands together for Jesus. When you are doing it for me, you do it here. But when you are doing it for Jesus, you go up there. Put your hands together for Jesus. He is worthy to be praised. He's excellent and he's majestic. What a mighty God we serve today. Amen. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. The angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we. Oh, what a mighty God. Oh, what a mighty God. Oh, the angels bow. Heaven and earth, what a mighty God we. He is a miracle, miracle. He is a miracle. He is a wonder. He's a miracle. He is a miracle working. He is a miracle working. He is a miracle. He is a wonder. Oh, he is a miracle. He is a miracle working God. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan, you better say victory, it's mine. all mine, victory today. Oh, I told Satan, you better get thee victory today. Oh, joy is mine, all mine, 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 mine. I told Satan, you better joy today. One more time, joy is mine, all mine. It's mine, joy today. Oh, I told Satan, get thee behind, 'cause joy today, he is the King, he is the King, he is the Lord. Oh, the Lord, his name, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, he is the King, he is the King. Oh, he is the Lord. Oh, Lord, his name, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, one more time, he is the King, he is the King of Kings, King of Kings. He is the Lord, Lord of Lords. His name is Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, he is the King. His name is Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, he is the King. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to see my Jesus someday. I've got my mind made up, 'cause I want to see my Jesus. I've got my mind, yes I do. Oh, 'cause I want to see my Jesus. Got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to see my Jesus someday. Goodbye world, goodbye pleasures of sin. I stay no longer with you. I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of. Goodbye world, oh, I'll stay no longer. Goodbye pleasure, I'll stay. I made up my mind, the rest of my, made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my. I am under the rock, say, I am under the rock, and Jehovah hides me. I am under the rock, go tell my enemies I'm under the rock is Jesus. Say I am, well I am under the rock, and say Jehovah hides me. I am under the, go tell my enemies I'm under the rock is Jesus. I am under the rock. Rock is higher than I. Jehovah hides me. I am under the rock. Go tell my enemies I am under under the rock. The rock is Jesus. I am under the rock is Jesus. The rock is Jesus. I am on. Do you believe it? Sing it again. The rock is Jesus. But holding on to faith we know best. Jesus. Nothing can catch you by surprise. You've got this figured out, and we're watching us now. And when it looks as if we can't win, you wrapped us in your arms. You wrapped us in your arms and stepped in, and everything we need you supply. You've got this in control, and now we know that you made a way when our backs were, and it looks as if it was over. Say you made a way, and we're standing here only because you made a way. Now we're here, looking back on where we came from. Because of you and nothing we've done to deserve the love and mercy you've shown. Your grace was strong enough to pick us up, and you made a way. Somebody sing, when my back was against the wall, and it looks as if it was over. Say you made a way, and we're standing here only because you made a way. You move mountains, you move mountains, you cause walls with your power, perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible. And we're standing here only because you move mountains, you move mountains, you cause walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing, that's impossible. And we're standing here only because you, yes, we're standing, and we're standing here only because you, oh, we're standing here only because you made a way. Oh, you made a way. Somebody be grateful. You made a way. Oh, you made a way. I don't know how, but you did it. You made a, don't know how, but you did it. You made a, don't know how, but you did it. You made a, don't know how, but you did it. You made a way. And we're standing here only because you made. Yes, we're standing here only because you made And we're standing here only because you made a way. Put your hands together for Jesus, for making that way for us, for making that way. God is good and faithful. Put your hands together for him again. We're standing here only because you made a way. Bless the Lord.
Let's have a hand for the worship team again. Very well done. Father Osang is here now, so we will have him do the opening prayer. Father Osang. We can never have two morning prayers to the Lord.
My apologies, please, for coming a bit late. As we stand before the Lord's presence, having sung in praise and worship of his name, we ask the presence of his power, his glory, in thanksgiving for the wonders of our being. He is the way, the truth, and the life. We have no life except in him. Lord, we thank you for this day because you are all that we have and are. In you we live, we move, and have our being. We have no being except in you, Lord Jesus Christ. Every power and knowledge belongs to you. The wisest man on earth was made wise by you. Lord, our knowledge depends on you. We ask, Lord, that you bless this conference. Bless everyone, Lord, that is here and those who are still on the way. Bless every activity that shall take place here, Lord, this day. May it enrich us to grow and be better. Use us, Lord, to build our nation, to build our family, and to grow. Help us, Lord, that we will allow your love to flow in our hearts. Help us, Lord, that through our actions, Lord, our nation will become a better place. Bless our endeavors, bless our plans, bless everything, Lord, that shall take place here. Let it be to the glory of your name and for salvation. We declare this place, this land, and everything here blessed. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you.
You may finally be seated. I now invite the President of St. David's Branch, Sister Kendra Williams-Baptiste, to officially welcome us to conference.
Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenada, Governor General, Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trades Union Council, and other trade union representatives, Mr. Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for educational administration, Mr. Elvis Moraine, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for human resources and educational development, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Chief Education Officer, and other officials from the Ministry of Education, Brother Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, Guest Speaker, Father Brian Osang, and other religious ministers, past presidents, other past officers of the Union, Brother Frankson Marshall, First Vice President and Chair of the proceedings, Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary, Brother Tommy Duncan, Second Vice President, and other executive members, awardees, principals, retired teachers, representatives from the media, other invited guests, teachers, good morning. On this momentous occasion, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the Grenada Union of Teachers 62nd Annual Conference, which is guided by the theme, Building a Strong Trade Union Movement and Nation through the Power of Solidarity and Education. We are blessed and quite privileged to be in the most beautiful parish in Grenada, St. David. Though small, is a hidden gem that lies and always stands tall. In fact, St. David is a parish where great leaders are born, such as past Prime Minister George Brizan, who originated from Windsor Forest, St. David, Sir Daniel Williams, past Governor General, who currently resides in Westerhall, St. David, and of course, our current Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, who was born in Petite Esperance, St. David. St. David can boast of its tremendous contributions to sports in Grenada. Special mention must be made of the St. David's Track Blazers, which is a track and field organization based in Lassaget, St. David, that continues to produce top quality athletes that represents Grenada at regional and international games. World champion Anderson Peters and world bronze decathlon champion Lyndon Victor are both products of the St. David Track Blazers. Not forgetting our very own West Indies cricketer, Mr. Andre Fletcher. Over the many years, the parish of St. David has excelled not only in sports, but also in culture. Grenada's reigning carnival queen, Miss Amone Francis, Christian Niles, the reigning junior calypso monarch. Additionally, Mr. Kelly Klein, also known as Rootsman Kelly, the current calypso monarch, are all proud products of St. David. With a unique blend of natural beauty, rich culture, and warm hospitality, St. David is indeed a true beauty. Our lovely Lassaget's beach and lush vegetation offers a breathtaking backdrop for an unforgettable experience. From the Westerhall Estate, which is Grenada's best rum distillery, to our newly built Six Senses Hotel that extends across 38 acres of land, St. David can boast of its tremendous accomplishments. Are you not ecstatic to be gathered here today? As educators, united by a common mission, which is to create a better future for our profession, let us work together to strengthen our trade union movement to build a stronger nation. Once again, welcome.
Thank you, Madam President. Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Governor General of Grenada, Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trade Union Council, and other trade union representatives. Brother Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, guest speaker, Father Gabriel Osang, and other religious ministers, past presidents and other past officers of the union, Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary, Brother Tommy Duncan, Second Vice President, and other executive members, Sister Kendra Batiste, President of the St. David Branch, awardees, principals and retired teachers, representatives from the media, other invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and to those of you listening and joining us online, good morning. I am Frankston D.S. Marshall, and I have the pleasure of serving as the first Vice President of this very noble entity. As per that position, part of my duties entail being the chairman of this morning's proceedings. As a professional organization and the third oldest union within this Caribbean region, the conference, this two-day activity, is the most formal and important event in which we will take part. This year, at this 62nd annual conference, we celebrate under the theme, Building a Strong Trade Union Movement and Nation through the Power of Solidarity and Education. This theme is relevant to us as educators and as union personnel. As we sit back and enjoy the pomp and circumstance of the occasion and the environs of the most beautiful parish in Grenada. Right, Ms. Baptiste? We ask you to learn from the orations, the oratorical presentations made. Let us make this one a memorable conference. But to have this conference officially declared open, I invite a more esteemed Grenadian than myself, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Governor General of Grenada, to officially declare the conference open. Let us welcome our Governor General.
Have your seats, please. Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trades Union Council and other trade union representatives, Mr. Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for educational administration, Mr. Elvis Moraine, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for human resources and educational development, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Chief Education Officer, and other officials from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, guest speaker, Father Gabriel Osang, and other religious ministers present, past presidents and other past officers of the Union, Brother Frankson Marshall, First Vice President and Chair of the proceedings, Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary, Brother Tommy, Second Vice President and other executive members, Sister Kendra Batiste, President of the St. David's Branch, awardees, principals, retired teachers, representatives of the media, other invited guests. Good morning. I am grateful and honored to have the opportunity to share my thoughts with you on the important topic of nation building and the role of the trade union movement. From the outset, I must observe that your theme is quite rich, and I hope I can do justice to it in this brief address. There are 4 powerful sub-themes, and I will address each in turn. The sub-themes are the need for a strong trade union movement, the imperative for a strong nation, the social value of solidarity, and the power of education. As you are aware, the struggles for recognition of trade unions in the 1930s was a struggle for social justice, equity, fairness, and voice for peoples who had endured the traumas of slavery and indentureship. The nationalist movement in the Caribbean in the 50s, 60s, and 70s of the last century was driven in large measure by the workers and their organizations. Indeed, in every country in the region, the political party that led the country into independence has had its roots either in a specific trade union or trade union confederation. The case of St. Kitts and Nevis comes to mind in that, at one time, the executive of the St. Kitts Nevis Trades and Labor Union became the cabinet of the country under Premier Robert Bradshaw when their union members ran for election and won. We, the people of Grenada, have every right to take pride in our antecedents' exploits and celebrate their contribution to national and regional social development. I take pride in and should point out the disproportionate influence of leaders from Grenada as exemplified by the heroics of Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler in Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. Butler led the most powerful trade union in Trinidad and Tobago, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, OWTU, and was elected to the Legislative Council, as this was the era prior to independence. It is for this reason, on each year, on May the 1st, we celebrate Labor Day in Grenada, a reminder of struggles waged over the years for workers' rights. The international economic system and its organizing principles of globalization and trade liberalization has, over the years, blunted the force of trade unions. However, despite the power in the decline wielded by trade unions, we have, in the past 2 years, witnessed historic strikes and contract negotiations in countries such as the United States that have resulted in gains for workers. We need strong unions, not only to protect the interests of their members, but also to contribute to strong societies and to nation building that will be required for the cohesive resilience and sustainability of our country. Trade unions are important social actors in the labor market and key civil society institutions as they form bridges to resolve differences between employers and employees. These bridges can facilitate conflict resolution and an understanding of the perspective of all parties, thus creating the foundation for fair wages and decent working conditions, which in turn lead to more just and equitable societies, and as a result, stronger and more peaceful nations. The social value of solidarity should never be underestimated. Trade unions are in a unique position to foster solidarity. Solidarity is often understood within unions as solidarity against a political or economic actor. Because we live in a rapidly changing world, trade unions need to create spaces where working people can understand and societal and industrial changes taking place and build dialogue and strong solidarity-based relationships so that the situations of industrial conflict, workers can mobilize members to act over collective grievance and social justice while understanding that we are often operating in a context of overall diminishing resources. It should never be forgotten, however, that solidarity underpins social justice. It is fitting that the Grenada Union of Teachers would identify education as both an aspirational value and a practical imperative. I suggest that one way to build a strong union is through education. The question is, though, what do we mean by education? In an era that seems to be caught up in seemingly intractable problems and perpetual global crises, how should workers' representatives and their organizations be outfitted? How should they be prepared to grapple with present and emerging threats? It is imperative that union representatives address the direct bread and butter issues that their members face. At the same time, those in leadership positions need to focus on transformation, particularly in the area of technology that is required at the moment. I suggest that you, as teachers, as educators, approach the needs for education of the trade union movement in the same way that you do with lesson planning. What are the knowledge, skills, and competencies that workers and their representatives require to meet the moment? What are the gaps that exist? How do we close these gaps? How do we ensure that the movement is relevant to the changing needs of the workers as we approach the end of the first quarter of the 21st century? How do we prepare the movement to sustain itself as we enter the second quarter of the 21st century? Any discussion on international union education today must start with recognition of the great importance of lifelong learning, particularly in developing countries such as ours. To adapt to our rapidly changing world, educators must embrace lifelong learning, and our unions have an important role to play in ensuring this. As educators, so much depends on you for the future of our nation. I am reminded of the words of Confucius, who in 500 BC famously said, "Education breeds confidence, confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace." As you work with your trade union and perform your duties as educators, remember that yours is an awesome responsibility. You hold the future of our country in your minds, hearts, and skills. I am confident that you are well capable of meeting the challenges of our times, and I wish you every success in building a strong Grenada Union of Teachers that embraces solidarity and helps both your students and members appreciate and understand the enduring value of education. I wish you an enjoyable and successful conference. It now gives me great pleasure to declare the 62nd Annual Grenada Union of Teachers Conference open.
Our appreciation to Her Excellency for her poignant and very important words. At this point in time, we ask her indulgence a little bit more. We would like to invite, so that we may have the opportunity to bestow honorary membership upon a stalwart of this St. David's branch. He has served in various capacities throughout the union and the branch for many years, and his recognition is deserving. At this point in time, I would like to invite to the stage Brother Francis Ruffin.
Francis Emilio Kintakunte Ruffin, or Teacher Ruffin, as he is affectionately called, joined the teaching service on the 11th of June 1979 under the leadership of Mr. Julius Forsyth. It was not long after, in 1984, that he gained the status NESTEB qualified teacher. Brother Ruffin's teaching career spans a period of 39 years at the St. Martin de Porres Catholic School, after which he retired in February of 2018. During his tenure, he served as deputy principal for 22 years and as a member of the school's management team. Mr. Ruffin was known for his keen interest in agriculture as he led the 4-H arm of his school and at the branch and the national levels for over 15 years. He was also instrumental in the organizing of sporting activities and acted as the school doctor before the professionals showed up. His hard-working nature and diligence earned him a service award at his 25th year as an educator. From the inception of his teaching career, Mr. Ruffin immersed himself into the undertakings of the Grenada Union of Teachers. He was involved in all activities and never missed a moment. Whatever duty was having, he was there. Wherever duty was going, he found himself there. Brother Ruffin was an active member of the St. David branch during his 39 years of service and continues to serve the branch to this day, wherever and whenever called upon. He was privileged to be the member of the branch sports committee for a number of years and also served as shop steward of his school and represented the St. David branch on the National Shop Stewards Council for over 15 years. As shop steward, his duties involved, but were not limited to, keeping his staff and branch members informed of all union business, reporting grievances, representing his school and branch at all meetings of the branch and National Shop Steward Councils, promoting all activities planned and supported by the union, and empowering young teachers to participate in union activities. During those years, he was deemed and later awarded the longest-serving shop steward of his branch. In 2016, Brother Ruffin was awarded for his contributions at the union, at the annual general conference hosted by St. David's branch. Brothers and sisters, please join me in appreciating the vibrant, hard-working, spirited comrade, Francis Ruffin, as he comes to receive this noble award.
Congratulations, Mr. Ruffin. We appreciate your sacrifice and service to the Grenada Union of Teachers. At this point in time, I'd like to recognize the presence of our Chief Education Officer, Brother Dominic Jeremiah. Welcome, sir. I now invite Sister Melissa Santos to give us solidarity message from our sister unions. Let us welcome Sister Santos.
Her Excellency, Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trades Union Council, and other trade union representatives, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Chief Education Officer, and other officers from the Ministry of Education, Brother Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, guest speaker, Father Gabriel Osan, and other religious ministers, past presidents and other past officers of the union, Brother Frankson Marshall, First Vice President and Chair of the proceedings, Brother Tommy Duncan, Second Vice President, and other members of the National Executive, Sister Kendra Batiste, President of the St. David Branch, awardees, principals, retired teachers, representatives of the media, other invited guests, a pleasant morning to all. This morning, I am delighted to bring highlights of fraternal greetings extended to us from our brother and sister organizations, both locally and regionally, as we host our 62nd annual conference. Messages were received from the Grenada Trades Union Council, the Windward Islands Union of Teachers, the Anguilla Teachers Union, and the Bermuda Teachers Union. The Grenada Trades Union Council commended us on the hosting of our 62nd annual conference and deemed our theme most relevant in these times. They extended best wishes for fruitful deliberations as we chart the way forward amidst the growing challenges of structural adjustment and other economic challenges. The GTUC then renewed its commitment to working with the GUT, as together we confront the issues affecting the workers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The Windward Islands Teachers Union extended warmest greetings of solidarity to the GUT as we convene our 62nd annual conference. They commended our commitment to advancing the rights and welfare of educators. It is through solidarity and education that we can forge a path towards a brighter future for our profession, nation, and region. As fellow educators and advocates, the WITU stands in solidarity with the GUT, recognizing the importance of unity in facing the challenges ahead. Together, we can achieve great progress and uphold the values of fairness, equality, and empowerment. The Windward Islands Teachers Union then expressed heartfelt support and best wishes for a successful conference with fruitful deliberations and strengthened collective resolve through the bonds of solidarity. The Anguilla Teachers Union joined units across the region in celebrating this momentous occasion. The ATU noted our theme and highlighted its relevance. By nurturing a strong trade union movement rooted in solidarity and education, we lay the foundation for a more just, equitable, and prosperous society. They further commended the GUT for its steadfast commitment and tireless efforts in promoting solidarity among teachers, fostering professional development, and championing the rights of educators. The ATU stands in solidarity with the GUT. They reaffirmed their commitment to working together to advance the rights and dignity of educators, to promote equality, education, and to build a bright future for all. The Bermuda Union of Teachers extended warm greetings and heartfelt congratulations to the union as we host our 62nd annual conference, under a theme which resonates deeply with our shared commitment to excellence in education and the empowerment of teachers. The BUT also stands in solidarity with the GUT and commended our dedication to fostering a resilient and united trade union movement in Grenada. In closing, they extended wishes for a successful, productive conference filled with fruitful discussions, valuable insights, and strengthened bonds of solidarity. All unions recognized our contributions as trade union and highlighted the significance of our theme. They all pledged their commitment to a unified approach in confronting issues that affect workers everywhere. They saluted us on the occasion of our 62nd annual conference. I thank you.
Thank you, General Secretary, Sister Melissa Santos, for sharing with us the solidarity messages from our sister unions. Now we will have a presentation by Junior Monarch, young Christian Niles of the Corinth Government School, to make his cultural expression. So let us please welcome young Christian Niles.
Hello? Good morning. Are you ready for it? Me daddy say, in his days, school was better in many ways. Since they moved standard and bring in grades, them things he see does make him afraid. When they say time for press, children cocky in the heads, teachers guilty as well. They cock up on their cell. They walking in 10 o'clock, tattoo up with short frock. But if I reach 10 past 8, they're ready to lock the gate. Why? No standard in school, no standard. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast, no standard in school, no standard. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast. When was standard? School had class. Since standard gone, Israel all mass. We choose to adopt high grade system. Right after that was real problem. Teachers cussing children, kids cussing back at them. If they bring their parents come, well, Papa is big showdown. They dating their students too. Don't care if it's white or blue, but if I just sip Tanya, it's straight in naughty corner. Why? No standard in school, no standard. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast, no standard in school, no standard. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast. Me daddy say he does pray for standards. Come back today. Bring back standards from 1 to 6. So one problem we start to fix. Teachers drinking alcohol, can't stand up and teach at all. Some of them eyes just bleed, and they know they smoke the weed. Teachers, whatever you do, yeah, we always mimicking you. Things wouldn't be so bad if all you didn't move standard. Why? No standard in school. Sing it. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast, no standard in school, no standard. We playing the fool, no standard. We don't have no class. Bring back the standard fast. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, two-time and reigning young monarch, no standard, Brother Christian Niles. Very well done, young man. Even as adults, many of us are scared of coming up in front of a crowd, and he came and he performed and he had us going. Again, well done, young Christian. I now take the opportunity to invite our Honorable Minister for Education, David Andrew, to deliver some brief remarks. Let us welcome the Minister for Education.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Governor General of Grenada, Senator the Honorable Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trade Union Council, and other trade union representatives, Chief Education Officer, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Ministry of Education, Brother Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, and other members of the executive of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, guest speaker, Father Gabriel Osang, and other religious ministers, past presidents and other past officials and officers of the Union, Brother Franklin Marshall, First Vice President and Chair of today's proceedings, Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary, Brother Tommy Duncan, Second Vice President, and other executive members, Sister Kendra Batiste, President of the St. David's Branch, awardees, principals, both present and retired, representatives of the media, other specially invited guests. Today I'm delighted to be with you, and I offer congratulations to the Grenada Union of Teachers on its hosting of the 62nd annual conference. Congratulations to you. Yeah, it's a good place to give yourselves a round of applause. I take this opportunity to thank every educator, both past and present, for your contribution to our nation. You see, there's no doubt, it's inescapable, that education, more than anything else, is what's important to transform our country. Because we could have buildings, we could have nice roads, and if the people that we have, if our human resource don't transform, nothing else matters. We could have the nice hospital, but if our people don't transform, nothing else matters. We could have the nice local foods, but if our people don't transform, nothing else matters. So I am convinced we are in a sector that is absolutely pivotal and critical to our nation's development. And that's why I'm happy to be here at your 62nd annual conference, because education is fundamental. It's very critical. And so I want to commend you and thank you for your service over the years and those who are continuing to give service. Because I know teaching, having been there myself, having spent years in the classroom, is not an easy feat. Everybody expects everything of you, as if you're not human too. But I've walked the walk too, so my heart empathizes, because I understand what that walk is and can be. But commendations to you, and thank you for doing it, because at the end of the day, our nation becomes stronger because of it, because of you. And so, thank you very, very much. The Ministry of Education and the Government of Grenada, we remain committed to having you as genuine partners and advocates in this mission to transform our nation. I say partners because I understand, as Minister for Education, none of the fancy policies we have could be well enforced or enacted without you. You hear what I'm saying? I understand we can make all kind of nice cabinet conclusions, and we can have all sorts of nice policies. But if we don't have you as our key ambassadors and partners in this process, everything falls down. And so the ministry is keen on maintaining the partnership and keeping you as valued ambassadors and valued partners in this process. We don't have to think far. But this is evidenced, I mean, you probably have heard it a lot of times, but this is evidence in our paying the doc salaries. This is evidence in reintroducing the pension as was lawfully due. Yeah. This is evidenced in establishing the collective bargaining agreements for 23, 24, 25, so that it eliminates the after the fact running behind and trying to fight up and trying to conduct industrial activities and organize, somebody is saying, for what you have already negotiated. All of these show our commitment as a ministry and as a government to partnering with you genuinely in seeing our agenda and the nation's agenda and well-being pushed. And so we are keen and we understand well that a very amicable industrial atmosphere is important for our nation's development. If we fight it every day, we can't go forward. I just reflect and I realize, look at what Intercol has done for us, does for us, continues to do for us. And to think we had a period when some people, some COVID, some industrial related, did not get the chance to experience the thrill of shouting for your school. We heard that too. But I'm just saying, the sheer passion and the sheer esprit de corps, it's not just a GBSS thing, Principal Kenny, but every school goes out there and shouts with pride. And we understand the need for that kind of industrial peace. And so we continue to work in that vein. But you know, what does a union look like in today's era? Her Excellency made some very pointed comments and suggestions in that regard. What does a trade union movement look like in a changing era, a changing atmosphere, a changing time, a changing dispensation, and in an atmosphere where you have an administration that is pro the workers, that is supportive of the union? Do we create issues to fight on? Do we just relegate into silence and become obsolete? Neither, I propose. Instead, we consolidate the gains. We institutionalize the benefits and the gains for the workers, for our educators, to ensure that our institutions become stronger. What makes a nation strong? It's institutions, it's people. And so if we do that too, we make unionism stronger, we make our workers stronger, we make the system stronger. So I'm not a guest speaker, so I don't want to spend too much time. But certainly, I'm always of the belief we always have to examine and ask ourselves whether or not we can do more. Recently, in our meeting with the union, which we have periodically, with the Grenada Union of Teachers, we had one only last week, and our CEO said something that was very profound. And he said, you know, we need to establish what are those big ticket items that we agree on. Because at the end of the day, I think the Grenada Union of Teachers wants what we want. You believe that? Anybody who believes that, just wave a hand. Wow, some people don't believe that. Okay, so I'm alone with a few people. But I am confident, even if I stand alone, that I am correct in my thought and in my declaration. I believe every one of you sitting here, the fact that you spent all these years in the classroom, and the fact that you continue to do it, tells that you want what we want. You want to see the students educated. You want to see our nation educated. That's where you go. Except you want it for only the money, and I doubt that, having been there myself. Because there's no money in it anyway. There's no real money in it. But anyhow, so we are looking at the same thing. We have the same targets. And so I beg us to quietly introspect and ask ourselves, am I satisfied with my output? Am I satisfied with what I am delivering? I ask myself that every day. I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me, I'm not satisfied with this, I'm not satisfied. And they do. They may. But I must always have my own introspective conclusion to balance that with. Am I doing the best that I feel I can do? Are you doing the best that you believe you can do? Are you giving the best that you believe you can give? Are you satisfied with your output? And I'm not here to make any judgments. I leave you to introspect and come to that own conclusion for yourselves. It's something we must always do. You see, I believe there are opportunities for more. Our society, I listen all the time, and we talk about the crime, we talk about the violence. I was on one of the radio programs recently, a couple of weeks ago. And Mr. Minister, what is the education system doing about the crime? And they always point to the school. Everything that's wrong, they come to the school, they go to the school, implicating you, implicating all of us in education. Not just me, because you are the active practitioners in the field. They implicate all of us. And I have to say to them, the school is a reflection of wider society. And while we do not have the mandate to fix the families that are broken, while we do not have the mandate to change the perspectives of our social players at home and in our wider society, we have the opportunity to help shape the perspectives of the younger ones coming up, more than anybody else. In occasions where families and parents can't even speak about certain topics, we are the ones trained to do that. We are the ones with the expertise and the know-how. And so, having said this, I want to impress upon us the need to do our utmost. The need to do our best, from our best place. One quote says, "Teaching emerges from the inwardness of a person. We do not teach math, Spanish, or history. We teach who we are." That's one quote says that. See, lots of people might forget the trigonometry. And they might forget from a point of level ground at an angle to the top of a cliff, they might forget all of these things. For those of you who teach math. And particularly if they don't practice it. But you know what? They'll never forget the kindness. They'll never forget the model that you represented. They'll never forget how you were as a person to them. And so your values matter. Your model matters. What you demonstrate to your students matter. And even on this 62nd annual conference, I impress upon you the need to be what you want them to be the models for them, be the examples for them, show them values the best way you know how, because you teach who you are. Give your best. And let me conclude by reiterating that the ministry pledges its continued commitment and support to you as partners in this process of education of our nation. We pledge our commitment to working together for the common cause of building and strengthening our nation through education and collaboration and building stronger unions. I wish you a very meaningful and productive 62nd Annual Unions Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, for your remarks and bringing us greetings on behalf of the Ministry of Education. We will utilize you a little bit further as we bestow awards to a number of teachers who are much deserving and continue to serve within our fraternity. To lead us through this part of the activity, I invite young Javon Bartholomew of the St. David's branch to identify and call upon these teachers and read the relevant citations.
Pleasant morning again, everybody. First awardee, Teacher Delon Edwards, affectionately called Teacher Delon, is a qualified teacher attached to the St. Joseph's Catholic School. He has been in the teaching profession for the past 24 years. Teacher Delon has dedicated 22 years of unwavering service to the Teachers Union, leaving an indelible mark on both his branch and the school and the broader education community. Throughout his tenure, Brother Delon displayed tireless commitment, actively engaging in numerous union activities and serving on multiple committees. He served for 15 years as the chairman for the sports committee of the branch, coordinating all sporting activities, planning and scheduling, meeting and executing any plans as it relates to sports. He negotiated and ensured that necessary resources were available for the sporting seasons. Brother Delon's steadfast advocacy for teachers' involvement in activities, teachers' rights, and equitable education resonated deeply with his colleagues, earning his respect as a trusted leader within the union. He enthusiastically served on national committees such as the St. David's Sports Representative for 9 years, executive member of the Sports Committee for 2 years, St. David's National Representative for 4 years. His duties included, but were not limited, to planning and coordinating all sporting activities for the union, relate and act as liaison officer between the branch and national executive, ensuring all plans are executed. He provided information to the national executive, ensuring they are aware of plans, activities, challenges, and the strengths of the branch. He also represented the national executive on the National Sports Committee of Grenada, keeping both parties up to date with plans regarding sports. Brother Delon's leadership and dedication were instrumental in advancing the collective interests of teachers. His presence on committees ensured that diverse voices were heard and considered in decision-making processes, fostering a culture of inclusivity and collaboration within the union. Brother Delon's enduring legacy serves as a testament to the power of activism and the transformative impact of collective action in shaping the landscape of unionism. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we acknowledge Brother Delon Edwards. All right, on to the next awardee, Mr. Kester Lyons, who is not in our midst presently. So receiving on his behalf would be Mrs. Cheyenne Celestine. Mr. Kester Lyons, the principal of the St. Martin de Porres Catholic School, has been an educator for the past 30 years. He has been actively involved in the union for as much as 15 years. Being an active member, Brother Lyons served as vice president of the branch for at least 2 terms and was also a representative on the education committee. These positions allow him the opportunity to schedule, organize, and execute meetings, activities, and events for the branch. He performed his role diligently with pride, passion, and enthusiasm. Brother Lyons was honored to serve on the national level as chairman of the Education Committee and as an executive representative on the National Education Committee. His loyalty to unionism and the Grenada Union of Teachers afforded him the opportunity to lead the Grenada Union of Teachers debating team against Tau and the police. He also served as the vice president of the St. Andrews branch and was integral in the establishment of the Primary Principals Association. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we acknowledge Mr. Kester Lyons. Next up, we have Teacher Shirley Telesford, and Teacher Shirley is not here with us as well, so receiving on her behalf is Teacher Judelyn Smith. Teacher Shirley T. Telesford is a qualified teacher who has been in the profession for the past 40 years. As a dedicated educator and passionate advocate for trade unionism, Teacher Shirley served as a shop steward for many years. She also served on the cultural committee at the branch level. During her highly active role when serving, she was involved in, but not limited to, attending meetings while representing her school, planning and executing cultural activities and events for the branch, being a liaison officer between the school and the branch. She encouraged teachers to be involved in union activities and to join the groups and associations that were developed for teachers. She attended many conferences as a delegate and as a general member. She can be called on at any time to give assistance with any union activity or events, which she does willingly, professionally, and with pride. Her hard work, devotion, and impact continues to inspire young teachers and future generations of educators and union members as advocates for improvement, development, and change. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we acknowledge Teacher Shirley Telesford. So I want to ask Teacher Judlin not to go too far, as she is the next awardee. Teacher Judlin Smith, a graduate 2 teacher attached to the St. Dominic's Catholic School, has been a teacher since 1990 and was an active union member since that time too. She served in many capacities during her tenure and was actively engaged in numerous activities, tirelessly championing the rights and well-being of educators, whether advocating for fair wages, improved working conditions, or equitable access to resources and other matters that affects teachers. At the branch level, she served as the treasurer for about 13 years. This crucial position allowed her to manage the finances of the branch, keeping accurate records of income and expenditure, maintaining financial statements, and ensuring compliance with budgetary guidelines. She played a vital role in ensuring the financial stability, transparency, and integrity of the branch, enabling the teachers' union to effectively serve its members and achieve its objectives. Additionally, Sister Smith was an active shop steward for over 5 years, ensuring that all the necessary information was disseminated to the school from the branch and from the branch to the school. She also enthusiastically represented her school on the Education Committee and further represented the branch on the National Education Committee and was a delegate in many conferences. Sister Judlin Smith was and is still an active member of the branch, attending all activities and encouraging other colleagues and teachers to do the same. Through her proactive involvement and unwavering dedication, Sister Judlin Smith left an indelible mark on the union's legacy, embodying the principles of solidarity and empowerment for generations of educators to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Sister Judlin Smith. Our next awardee, Teacher Cecilia Judith Greenidge. Teacher Cecilia Judith Greenidge, affectionately known as Teacher Judith, a graduate 1 teacher and vice principal, has been in the teaching profession for 35 years. She has been an active member of the Grenada Union of Teachers since 1989, when she entered the service, and has continued to be a dedicated and supportive member up to present. As an educator, her service to the union at the branch level includes being a shop steward representative for 10 years, a representative of the Women's Committee for 6 years, a member of the Sports Committee for 7 years. She provided information to the union leaders and members within the school regarding new developments and issues with the collective bargaining unit. One of her main roles was to encourage members to participate fully in union activities. Though she did not hold any position at the national level, she participated in numerous conferences as a delegate and in activities that were organized and executed by the national executive and groups. As Teacher Judith continues her journey as an educator and union activist, her passion for teaching and her dedication to the principles of solidarity and collective action serve as a beacon of hope for educators and workers everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Teacher Cecilia Judith Greenidge. The next awardee, Mrs. Jocelyn Augustus Latouche. Mrs. Jocelyn Augustus Latouche, commonly called Princey, has been an educator for 31 years. At present, she holds the position of principal at the current government school. Of the 31 years in the profession, she has been actively involved in the Grenada Union of Teachers for 28 years. Her involvement includes various positions at the branch level, such as President of the St. David's branch for 20 years, Vice President of the branch for 2 years, Branch Representative for 2 years, and the Chairman of the Women's Committee. Her involvement allowed her to fulfill the roles and responsibilities for each position required, which includes organizing, scheduling, and conducting meetings, attending to teachers' needs, and being a liaison to the national executive. Teacher Jocelyn's leadership skills and dedication to teaching and the union's activities and cause earned her recognition within the national level, and she served as the branch representative for 4 years, the National Women's Committee representative for 4 years, and the executive representative also for 4 years. With an ability to effectively communicate the concerns of teachers and represent them, she attended meetings at the executive level and transferred information and decisions to the branch, participated in activities, and assisted in planning activities for the committees she was a member of. Sister Jocelyn's dual role as a teacher and union activist exemplifies her unwavering commitment to serving her union. Hence, she was a shop steward for the St. Dominic's Catholic School and represented the school on the Women's Committee, a member of the branch management, a representative for the union on GNOW, board member at Grenada Teachers Social Security and Welfare Association, and president of the Duty Credit Union, and a board member of the E5 group. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we acknowledge Mrs. Jocelyn Latouche, my principal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, young Bartholomew, and thank you, Mr. Minister, for helping us with this part of the ceremony. At this point in time, we get to one of the climaxes of the conference where we enjoy the presentation of the President General presenting his State of the Union address. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming the President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Brother Jude Bartholomew.
Your Excellency, Her Excellency, Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General, the Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andrew Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trades Union Council and other trade union representatives, Mr. Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for educational administration, Mr. Elvis Morin, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for human resources and educational development. I'm concerned that they are not here. Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Chief Education Officer, and other officials from the Ministry of Education. Mr. Brian Charles, guest speaker, for the Gabriel Osam, and the other religious ministers, past presidents and other past officers of the Union. Brother Franklin Marshall, first Vice President and Chair of the proceedings. Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary. Brother Tommy Duncan, Second Vice President and other executive members. Sister Kenja Baptiste, President of St. David's Branch. Awardees, principals, retired teachers, representatives on the media, other invited guests. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start my speech, I must recognize today my profound gratitude for a young man, a young teacher of Pomrose RC School, Brother Dylan Edwards. If you're talking about a strong union and a strong young man, someone, if you look at what is happening today, Brother Dylan was really strong. Somebody who sacrificed and in everything that he did for sports and such. And you see the hallmark of a dedicated teacher who paid the ultimate price and such. And it means as a strong union and a strong nation, we must support our owner, we must support Brother Dylan Edwards. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed pleasure to address you as the President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers on this very historic and auspicious occasion, the 62nd Annual Conference of the Grenada Union of Teachers in the Virgin Parish, St. David's, a parish without a tongue, but is well known for its magnificent scenery and beautiful secluded beaches, captivating geographical layout, almost magical. The citizens of St. David's are well documented for their heroic vigilance and militancy, the first to smash the gates and harness to gain access to the beach, giving meaning to the song, "The beach is mine and I can bathe anytime." A place where sports and culture is glorified. And above all, the St. David's people are warm, friendly, hospitable, and courageous. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to address you on home soil, a simple, humble, ordinary man, born in the parish of St. David's, right here, Latent and Pomrose to be precise, standing tall and proud here today to address you on the 62nd Annual Conference of this great and powerful trade union organization, the Grenada Union of Teachers. To Mr. Brian Charles, another son of the soil of St. David's, past principal of St. Dominic's RC School, we are both pleased and blessed and honored to have you as our keynote speaker. To the president of St. David's Branch, Sister Kenja Baptiste, her branch management team, and the principals and teachers of St. David's, thank you for accepting the challenge of hosting the 62nd Annual Conference. Not forgetting the principal and members of staff of St. Joseph RC School, Pomrose, for your generous acceptance of the Grenada Union of Teachers and the St. David's Branch to use your school to host this 62nd conference while it is under repairs. You did everything humanly possible, together with St. David's Branch management team, to transform St. Joseph RC School into the ambience that we experience here today at this opening ceremony. Let us give them a round of applause. To the awardees, we thank you for your invaluable sacrifices to the duty, education, and nation. You are very much deserving of our recognition here today. To our specially invited guests, retirees, and other wonderful and amazing teachers, you are most welcome, and we are happy to have you here. Not forgetting the many teachers, retirees, and the entire nation who are viewing this opening ceremony of the 62nd Annual Conference virtually. We wish all of you an exciting and enjoyable virtual experience. Before I venture any further, I wish to express my profound and sincere thanks and gratitude to Almighty God for His bountiful blessing, guidance, favors, protection upon the Grenada Union of Teachers, upon every teacher and their family, and for carrying us through in our many struggles and giving us the victory in our many battles, and for blessing us with a new administration under the leadership of the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Through God's grace, is unleashing the rewards of social and economic justice for teachers, public officers, and other workers, that we no longer have to march on the streets of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Matnik to get what is rightfully ours. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. I wish he could have been here today in his capacity as parliamentary representative of St. David's to thank him face-to-face on behalf of the teachers, but his parliamentary duties did not allow him to do so. But I have some thank you notes there, thinking that he would be here, so I will do it anyway. Thank God for choosing an ordinary man like me to be the President General of the duty, and for guiding and protecting my presidency, even in the most difficult and challenging of times. It is only through you and with you that all things are possible. Continue to bind us and our nation together through solidarity, education, nation building. We give thee thanks. I quote 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verses 34, and I quote, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, and his love endures forever." Psalm 107, verses 8 to 9, "Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things." So as I said again, my intention, I thought that the Honorable Prime Minister, but I'll give him the accolades in expressing thanks as we have it, for providing so many benefits to teachers and public officers in such a short space of time. We say thanks. For honoring pension restoration and retroactive payments for teachers and public officers, past, present, and your unwavering commitment for the future. You make us smile again. You restore our dignity, self-worth, for retirement. We say thanks. For the repayment of dock salary, we say thanks. For honoring salary increases for the period 2023 to 2025, without teachers and public officers having to march on the streets, 13%, the highest ever, we say thanks. For placing primary and secondary school principals in a new grade, primary school principals from grade H to grade I, secondary school principals from grade I to grade J, an increase over about $1,000 monthly, the envy of so many, even those at the Ministry of Education. At a time when nobody wanted to be principal, the salary was so low, and that is in addition to the 4% salary increase for 2024. We say thanks. Principals, be reminded, thank the government, support the ministry, but obey the call of your union. It is the duty that fought for this benefit for you. Let it be loud and clear. Not just the government or the Ministry of Education, but the hard sweat and tears of your teachers. So it means that as principals, even if you cannot leave the school, you must be wise enough for time to send out your troops, your teachers. They are the ones who fight the battle for you and for us. This one is big. For the first time, only Jamaica achieved that. but the Grenada Union of Teachers achieved it also. Compensation for the marking of SBA, $15 per project. CCSLC, $15 per project. CPEA, $12 per project. CVQ, $25 per project. Registrar for the posting of grades in every school, primary and secondary, $10. This take effect from January 2024. We say thanks, the Grenada Union of Teachers that did it for you and did it for us. And even when we are negotiating, some in the Ministry of Education say no, but when we put our thoughts together and we stand firm and we send it back to the government negotiating team, while the ministry sometimes say no, the Honorable Dick Mitchell say yes, and we get it. We thank you for the December, all right? So we thank you for the ex gratia payment of 25% in December. We say thanks. We thank you for December 2025. It must be no less than 50% in December 2025. And we say thanks in advance. For the regularization of 111 teachers, we say thanks. We look forward for another batch of temporary teachers to be regularized soon, before May Day 2024, if it is possible. And a pathway for temporary teachers without mathematics who have been performing well and are passing their job appraisal. Duty encourages teachers without mathematics to try and get it soon, even while we're pressing for you. But we call on the Ministry of Education to pay the newly regularized teachers their retroactive payments, and those principals who have been upgraded, pay them their money soon. We look forward for batches of both primary, secondary school, and early childhood teachers to attend Teachers College in September. For the upgrading of teachers who have successfully completed Teachers College, together with those with a bachelor's degree, we say thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme chosen for this 62nd annual conference of the Grenada Union of Teachers, building a strong trade union movement and nation through the power of solidarity and education, is most timely and relevant. The Grenada Union of Teachers is enshrined in the Constitution of Grenada, celebrating 111 years this year. One of the strongest, powerful, impactful, influential trade union organizations in the history of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and the region. Well respected and appreciated by the Grenadian citizens and across the region. Teachers, take a bow. Put your hands together for yourself. Let us ponder and reflect upon these powerful words of our theme, strong trade union movement, nation, nation building, education, the power of solidarity. Those words must come alive during our conference as we chart the way forward for a strong union and a strong nation. As we ponder upon the theme, we must reflect upon the great foundational work that our trade union forefathers, men and women, presidents and ordinary teachers have done in laying the cornerstones and foundational pillars that make us strong, the roadmap for us to build upon and to make us even stronger going forward. The invaluable sacrifices that they have made and our union and teachers continue to make through solidarity and education for a strong union and nation. It is incumbent upon us now to continue the great tradition and struggle to build and strengthen what has been handed down to us. To have a strong trade union, we must unite, put aside our differences, and work together for the good of all. Unity is strength. Let us unite for a common cause. We must stand in solidarity with each other. Executive, branches, teachers, we must be on the same page to be strong. We must build mutual trust, respect, and confidence in each other. Be transparent and above board. We must, as trade union and government, invest in our students and our teachers, invest in our human resources. We must stand in solidarity with and form alliances or forces, sometimes with other organizations, locally regionally and internationally, to fight for a just cause. Example, the local trade union organization, the TUC, CUT, non-governmental organization, Education International, just to name a few. Be visionary and transformative leaders. Build strong moral ethics and spiritual values. Be a voice for the marginalized, oppressed, and vulnerable in society. Be willing and ready to defend our democratic principles if and when government and people are going in the wrong direction and our rights are trampled upon. We have to fight against corruption, and we cannot corrupt ourselves as trade union leaders. No bribes or sellouts. Negotiate smartly. Build and strengthen our trade union organization from bottom up. Example, branches, national executive, and all the organs of the trade union movement. Various committees, shop steward council, branch management teams, national executive, and general membership. Also sound and wise economic investment for our union. We must stand up against unfair and unjust business practices, globalization, and hostile governments. According to Walter Reuther, and I quote, "There is no power in the world that can stop the forward march of free men and women when they are joined in solidarity of human brotherhood." Brothers and sisters, you saw this in the fight for salary increase, pension struggle, dark salary struggle. It was the Grenada Union of Teachers standing in solidarity to march on the streets and to stand up firm for a just cause under the previous NNP administration. We came out stronger together. According to Pope John Paul II, solidarity is not a feeling of vague compassion or shallow distress or the misfortune of so many people, both near and far. On the contrary, it is a firm and persevering determination to commit oneself to the common good, that is to say, to the good of all and to each individual, because we are all really responsible for each other. The power of education in building a strong trade union and nation. Teachers, take a bow. This is your moment to reflect upon the awesome responsibility that is placed upon your shoulder as educators, whether at the preschool, primary, secondary, tertiary level, to teach, touch, shape, and transform lives. The nation's children are in our hands, and in your hands. Our children's future and the future of Grenada, Carriacou, and Partygrenada are in our hands. What we do and how we do it will determine the outcome of their future and our nation's future. The teachers are the social, moral, spiritual, and educational factory, and what we put out will determine the strength of our union and our nation. The teachers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Partygrenada are the sacrificial lamb upon the altar of education in this nation. Thank you, teachers, for the invaluable sacrifices that you make every day in the education and nation building. Teachers are the real heroes of our nation. The mothers, fathers, nurses, doctors, counselors, providers, caregivers to the nation's children. Thank you, teachers, but we still have a lot of work to do. According to Nelson Mandela, and I quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to make our children, union, nation, society stronger, and to have a more productive and prosperous nation." Christine Gregory, and I quote, "Education is the foundation upon which we build our future." The time is now. The time is right at this 62nd annual conference in Pomeruz to transform our habits, attitudes, work ethics, old ways of thinking, and to forge a new common consensus in education for teaching and learning, for the total education and economic transformation of Grenada, Carriacou, and Partygrenada, one that will make us stronger and better, an education system that is designed to suit the needs of our people, our nation, for economic growth and transformation. The GOT stands ready together with other stakeholders, Ministry of Education, government, social partners, parents, students, to take education at a much higher level. On another note, the burden of education must not stand with the nation teachers only. We cannot make bricks without straw. Government and the ministry must put their monies where their mouth is and give teachers the tools, training, and resources to do their jobs. Our union and teachers must be a partner with ministry and government in the education transformation process and not be seen as just implementers of a failed education system and then put the blame on teachers. Teachers must be collaborators and not just implementers. The curriculum must be designed and structured to prepare the nation's children for work, better schools and working conditions for teaching and learning. We look forward to a future where almost every teacher and student throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique attains a degree, and not just a few CXC and advanced level, to make our students, teachers, union, our workforce, and our nation stronger together. Invest not only in academics, but in skills training also. Teach our students to do research and to solve problems, to be business-oriented. No child and no teacher to be left behind if our union and nation is to be made stronger. An education system that is designed to utilize both the human and natural resources of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique for our country's development. Provide the environment for students to do research, build their own brand, generate their own business, solve problems. Develop a sense of patriotism and pride in our people, students, teachers, the entire nation. New habits, work ethics, moral values. Foster a culture of regularity, punctuality, productivity, and prosperity in our people and nation. Government and trade union leadership make our people and nation believe that it can happen. The Grenada Union of Teachers has been doing its part every year. The duty spends hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in our teachers and students, in education, building, sports, culture, in almost everything. Designed to make the union stronger and Grenada stronger. Summer courses in partnership with the the Canadian Teachers Federation. We do it every year, and we look forward to it this year. The Caribbean Union of Teachers, the Ministry of Education, Education International, non-government organization, governmental organization, TUC and Cipriani Labor College, and we want to take the opportunity to thank Brother Andre Lewis with the assistance for our executive members and branch members who are in training at Cipriani Labor College to make our union and to make our nation stronger and better. Give a round of applause. The duty is paying for it, but the facilitating and the organizing and such, the TUC, and we thank them. New strategies and methodologies in teaching and learning for better learning outcomes, catering for the holistic development of our students and teachers. Duty investing in sports, part of education, national primary school games. All right, you're talking about duty games, duty and NEXA, the Grenada Union of Teachers, coming together, not only for branch and national primary school sports, cricket, football, netball, almost everything. The Grenada Union of Teachers. Come on, teachers, put your hands together. No sports in Grenada, whether branch, national primary school game, intercall, because if you're talking about intercall, it's still the duty to gaps. Put your hands together. This Grenada Union of Teachers have been working wonders, Honorable Minister David Andrew. Put your hands together and say thanks. The duty involves in all aspects of our students' lives for a well-rounded education and a brighter future for a strong union and a strong and productive, prosperous nation through sports in education. The way forward. Every teacher, temporary or permanent, must be given the opportunities to go to teachers' college or to be teacher trained. Teachers' college should facilitate a bachelor's program for teachers. By the time one finishes teachers' college, one should have a bachelor's degree in education. Compensate and pay the nation teachers and principals properly. Government and Ministry of Education, harmonizing education in the OECS, taking new approach from all over the world. but they are not harmonizing teachers' pay. Why is it that almost all OECS countries and other nations in the region are working for more money than our teachers in Grenada? We are doing the same work. Why, Honorable Minister? Why? Harmonize the curriculum, transform education, but of equal importance, harmonize and transform teachers' pay. Come and put your hands together for that. Fred. Better pay and benefits for our teachers mean a stronger union and a much stronger, productive, and prosperous nation. NIS will benefit and the economy will grow. Our commitment to education and the nation's children. This is for all of us as teachers. If the government and the Ministry of Education is honoring their commitment to our teachers and the nation's children, then we also must rise to the occasion and redouble and recommit our efforts to teach and educate the nation's children. Our mode of operandi, our watchword must be regularity, punctuality, productivity, and prosperity. A strong union and a strong and prosperous nation. Teachers, I know that you are doing a wonderful job, but like anything else, there is always room for improvement. The duty calls upon our teachers, our members, on this 62nd annual conference in St. David's. Let us rise and take education and the transformation of education to a new and higher level. Let us educate our nation's children holistically. Let us continue beyond the call of duty. Let us teach to the individual needs of every child that is placed in our care, including those with special needs. Let us be conscious and mindful of the important role that teachers play in teaching, molding, shaping, transforming the lives of the nation's children. Teachers, we are the education factory of our nation. A strong union means an educated nation. A strong nation depends on us teachers. The nation's children are in our hands. The future generation, Grenada's future, is in our hands. The caring, loving, committed, sacrificial, devoted hands of teachers. Transformation in attitude equals transformation in altitude. Let us educate our students, strengthen our union and nation, and build a strong economy. Remember, building a strong union and nation through the power of solidarity and education. Special thanks to the National Executive and teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is good to say thanks. Special thanks to members of the National Executive, elected officers, the IPP, Brother Marvin Under, branch presidents and branch management team, the shop steward chair and members of the shop steward council, together with shop stewards in every school. Special thanks to members of the Women's Committee, Sports Committee, Finance Committee, the Education Committee, Culture Committee, the Youth Arm, workers at the duty office, both Grenada and Carriacou and PT Matnik, the duty medical plan. Permit me to use this opportunity to congratulate Ms. Jill Fullerton as the new acting medical plan administrator. Give her a round of applause, Ms. Jill Fullerton. We wish you all the best. But I must put on record here today our deepest thanks and appreciation to a special worker at the duty office, Mistress Pinky Andal, the administrative secretary at the duty office. You are the best. You make things happen and you make us proud. Thank you, Mistress Andal, for your hard work and dedicated service to the duty. Put your hands again for Ms. Andal. Special thanks to the outgoing executive officer of the duty, Brother Kenny James. We wish you every success in your principalship at the GBSS. Put your hands together for Comrade James. I now use this opportunity also to congratulate Mr. Stisha Noel Grant, the new incoming executive officer. We express thanks also to Mr. Alwyn Pierre, the outgoing duty medical plan administrator, and we wish you all the best on your retirement. Come and put your hands together for Brother Alwyn Pierre. Special thanks to the chair and members of the Retired Teachers Association. Thank you for your invaluable contributions to the teaching profession and the Grenada Union of Teachers. What we have achieved as a new and young executive is quite remarkable and commendable. It could not have happened without all of us working together in unity and solidarity. I take this opportunity also to say special thanks to the chairperson of the medical plan, Brother Carl Andal. Put your hands together for him as we look forward to wait for an advisor to the medical plan, and Brother Carl Andal will do the necessary accolades when it's deemed necessary. So we have somebody in waiting. We will not announce it based on situations, but Brother Carl Andal will do the necessary accolades. Please permit me to highlight a few successes from this new executive. Come on, put your hands together for this new young executive of the Grenada Union of Teachers. You're afraid to put your hands together? No police here, nobody, no. The only person they might try to arrest is Teacher Jude, but they can't keep me for long. Teachers coming down, they fast. So we're not making joke. 13% salary increase for the period 2023 to 2025, the highest ever, the GUT new executive. Put your hands together. Fringe benefits that is second to none under the Honorable Deacon Mitchell administration. Compensation for the marking of SBA, CPA, CCSLC, CVQ, and registrar. The GUT young executive. Put your hands together. The upgrading of both primary schools and secondary school principals to grade I and J, respectfully, from January. Put your hands together, the GUT, new executive. Increase of allowances for vice principal and heads of department. The reduction in the waiting time for vehicular concession and a second vehicle from a waiting period of 10 years to 5 years, the new executive. And for the first time ever, although the medical plan have some benefits, and for the first time ever, under my presidency, we take care of teachers when they are alive and when they are dead. 15% discount on coffins and caskets for teachers from Arthway Bailey Funeral Home. Put your hands together. That's what we do. 10% discount on coffins and caskets from Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Crematorium for both teachers and their parents. These benefits are separate and distinct from the burial society. Teacher Tessa, come on, laugh, smile. Teachers, this is an executive and a president general that is working for you. Discount from Jonas, Brown, and Hubbard's from every department store except the food supermarkets. Food fair supermarket. We don't know why they exclude food fair supermarket, but we have to go back because teachers, to be strong, you must eat. So we have to go back there. Special discounts on prescription drugs from Real Value and Best Care Pharmacy. The regularization of 111 teachers, and we're looking forward for more soon. The upgrading of teachers from Teachers College, increase in salary and retroactive payments. The upgrades of some teachers with bachelor's and master's degree. The restoration of Teachers College to full-time studies, the Grenada Union of Teachers. We couldn't allow Teachers College to be part-time, so we negotiated and we pressed hard. Thanks to the Ministry of Education, the Minister of Education, take a smile, the outgoing CEO and the new CEO, we're working together. Take a smile. Training and workshops for executive members, teachers, and various committees, both at a national level and branch level. Orientation exercise for new teachers, 130 teachers were trained in the history of trade union, code of ethics, mode of dress, the Education Act, rights and responsibilities, types of leaves. Special thanks to the chair of the Education and Research Committee and other members of the Education Committee. Don't be afraid of coming down. Executive and branch members pursuing training and courses from the Cipriani Labor College in Trinidad, virtually to make our union, our nation stronger. We recognize that already. Thanks to the Grenada Trade Union Council for their assistance in this matter. And we talk about the two trade union members who were sent to New York in conjunction with the Caribbean Union of Teachers for training in education. On their return, they will organize workshops and training sessions for our teachers to improve their delivery in content and teaching, to make GUT stronger and our nation stronger. Summer course training in conjunction with the Canadian Teachers Federation and GUT in various skills and subject areas to improve the standard of teaching and learning to strengthen our union and the teaching profession. Workshops in collaboration with GUT and the Ministry of Education, engagement with the Minister, Permanent Secretary, and CEO to discuss teachers' business and education. Visitation to schools throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Partygrenada to deal with matters concerning our members. Training for shop stewards, the youth arm, the women's committee, national executive members, elected officers, branch management teams, and for our members in general. This is done to strengthen our union, to make GUT stronger and better. And we are very proud for the first time to restore the GUT logo. The teachers at both branch and national primary school game, the teachers called for it and the national executive and your president delivered. We are very proud for the first time in branch and national primary school games, not only one financial institution without teachers, the display of our logo, but we stand proud with our logo, stand side by side with any financial institution. Put your hands together. All right, so thanks to Nexa Credit Union and GUT, it was the best and most exciting 2 days of national primary school games, the GUT. Come on, teachers, give the national executive a round of applause. Put your hands together. Congratulations to St. Andrew's Branch for winning the national primary school games for yet another year. And congratulations to the other branches for a splendid performance. Congratulations is in order to St. David's Catholic Secondary School for winning the female division in intercol games. Congratulations to St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School for being victorious in the boys division. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so some setbacks and challenges quickly. The upgrading of teachers and compensation for the master's degree. And now we're hearing about this was a cabinet conclusion, from which cabinet conclusion under the previous administration. For years we have been trying hard, pressing Honorable Minister, we're calling on the new CEO, Brother Dominic Jeremiah. We can see that you have a passion and a love for education and the advancements of teachers' interests. So we're calling on the PSEs, the Honorable Minister, to undo these damages that was done and this unfair. It was really, really unfair. We fought, the GUT fought for the inducement allowance for workers in the Ministry of Education, some of them, and they got their monies, they got their increase. And today we're hearing about cabinet conclusion to stop it. We say no way. So we call on the Ministry of Education to the honorable thing and to restore so that teachers, when they study hard, if you want to build a strong union and a strong nation, you can't cut off the benefits for our teachers. You have to give them more to encourage them to study so that we could be stronger and better. Put your hands together. You don't want your money hooked up in stop. Come on, put your hands. All right. Time release policy for teachers to facilitate studies. If you want our nation to grow with education and nation building, you can't be holding back. You have to be reasonable and you have to have it scheduled so that you know what the teachers are doing. But if you want a more productive and a stronger nation through education and nation building, you have to give the teachers the opportunity to go and study. It don't make sense they join, they're doing a course online, they have to do an exam, and the Ministry of Education, when they apply, say you don't go and do no exam, you can't go and do nothing. We have a weaker Grenada Union of Teachers and a weaker nation. So we ask you to be empathized and sympathetic to our members so that we can develop and grow stronger. Come on, if you agree that, give us a round of applause. Lack of upgrades for the technical teachers. You're talking about skills, not only in academic education, but the advancement of skills for the holistic development of Grenada, Carriacou, and Partygrenada. So you have our technical teachers who went to train in Jamaica, some of them, and for years upon years, although their degree is comparable to that of Teachers College, they can't get the upgradement and such, and they lack money. And I know that Brother Jeremiah, when I spoke about it and we spoke about it in the last meeting, you could have almost seen Brother Jeremiah holding back a little tears, feeling sorry for the teachers. So we know that he's going to work towards compensation for the technical teachers. Do it fast, Brother Jeremiah. You're working well. All right. Late payments for some teachers with contract, late payments in this time when the government of Grenada, no problem in paying salary. You get in your money on time, but salary slip come in 1 year, 1 year and a half, we can get it. We don't know how much increase we get. We don't know what pay we get. We don't know if they're robbing us from the Ministry of Finance. We don't know anything. So this is a serious matter because salary slip, it is against the law to hold it back. So we ask them, we don't want to lead a protest. We don't want to lead a protest and marching on the street for salary slip in the time when government, the CEO would not like that. So we're asking the Minister for Education and the CEO and other persons to do what they have to do and to organize so that teachers could get the salary slip. And I got a call yesterday, teachers complaining that the salary slip, 1 or 2 came, but it going in other person's email. And they don't like that at all because privacy and such, and they were hot. People don't want to know if it's $1 you have next from your salary. That's your personal business and it should only come to you. So we ask you to take that into consideration. Negative reports on teachers' files without the teacher's knowledge. You can't do that at all. We're not saying there are times when the teachers do wrong things and such, and there must be report, right or wrong. But if you file in a report for teachers, you must show them. You must show them. So that is against, and so as a result of that, we are asking PSC, we are calling on the Minister for Education, prominent secretaries, and the CEO to expunge, facilitate that for all negative reports and teachers' files with teachers who didn't know anything. So we're asking you to lead the way in that. The regularization of teachers, a second batch, and a pathway for teachers without mathematics. So we are thankful for all the teachers who are regularized. At the same time, we know that they have something to get. But when you think about it, it wasn't the teacher's fault for all these years, 10, 15, 14 years, that they want to regularize. And it's unfair to them that they have not received their full compensation. But nevertheless, we are grateful and we say thanks. So we ask you, there are lots of teachers and public officers waiting to be regularized, and we ask you to do so speedily and generously. As we say, probably try to do some before May, because you don't know what I might have to say. So try to work on it before May. So more scholarship for teachers, all right, but so time release policy, we talk about all these things again. So we have some problems here in school repairs. The building of new schools and school repairs. St. David's Catholic Secondary School, St. Andrew's Christian Academy, St. Andrew's Anglican Primary, St. Giles Anglican, Calais Government, just to name a few. But I must go back to St. David's Catholic Secondary School. We clapping, we appreciative of how they're doing well in sports and in education for years upon years upon years. I mean, when you look at the condition that St. David's Catholic Secondary School is under, and the kind of sacrifice and commitment, and every year they're doing better and better, it is unconscionable. So we are calling, and when we look at it, we don't want to say that, and I don't want to say it loud. But I'm watching the Ministry of Education. A lot of the high people in the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Education, either went to St. David's Catholic Secondary School or they taught there. What is the hold-up? So we're asking the government of Grenada, the Honorable Minister of Education, the CEO and others, to fix and to bring a brand new school with all the facilities for the holistic development of education for children, for a strong society, educated nation, a strong union. So we're calling them for all schools, and we're taking a note of St. Giles Anglican School, because we find they settled in Munich there for a long time, and we heard that the soil turning exercise will take place, and up to now, yes, but no movement. And so we're watching to see the development there, because a new school was promised. Even if a contract wasn't signed, contract is not only written, but once you speak it in word of mouth, you really have a contract. So we're paying attention to these things. So if you want a stronger nation, you want better performance for the children, for our nation, for our teachers, schools, and such repairs and building to provide the facilities, a healthy health environment for our teachers and children to perform, then we ask you to do it. TAMCC matters, Payment for increments for lecturers at TAMCC, they are part of GUT too. So we're asking you to take note for TAMCC. The increments must be paid. Salary increases for lecturers and PW workers at TAMCC for the period 2023 to 2024 and 2025. We negotiate already, it is already signed. We ask you, sign, seal, and deliver from the Ministry of Education and for the government of Grenada. So we're looking forward for the increases for TAMCC lecturers and PW workers. Pension for lecturers at TAMCC, for a long time, those who are not under the public service, they are struggling, not really getting anything. A retirement savings plan is not a pension. So we are calling upon the Minister for Education, the government of Grenada, because we know they're doing well, the government of Grenada, in honoring pensions. So we're asking for pension under the pension reform to accommodate TAMCC lecturers. The new collective bargaining agreement for TAMCC lecturers, the duty is in the process of shaping it and such. For a long, long time, it didn't happen. All right, a long time. But when it doesn't happen, until it happens, the lecturers of TAMCC must benefit from the salary increases from the Grenada Union of Teachers. But presently, we're going to get it done, and we're going to get it done together. Thank you very much. TAMCC, come and put your hands together. We want to hear you. So we're talking about health and safety and security in schools. No violence in school, health and safety, to work in a secure environment. How can we very advance our nation and our children for a stronger nation, stronger education, if we don't have health and security in school? We see what is happening, and we heard what the minister said. But also our teachers, we don't want our teachers and our students to be afraid to go to school and to learn. And we observed for many times, we did approach the Ministry of Education for a few schools. We don't want to call them there. But where you have intruders, you have sometimes parents, siblings, you have even children coming in school, attacking other children, attacking principals and teachers, and the duty say no to that. And we condemn every form of violence in school. And we recognize and condemn the incident that happened in Carriacou and Petit Matnik with Hillsborough secondary student, with the student that was brutally murdered and raped. We say no to that and such. So these are the moments that we call in, and the Ministry of Education, we call on the government of Grenada to try to get it right. We know we're going forward in transformation, but for peace and tranquility in our nation, we must have unity and strength and security for all. We also have a problem with NIS. NIS pension. That is a serious, serious threat. So after we have the restoration of pension for teachers and public officers, you have the NIS going backward, putting teachers and public officers and other workers in what you call a new type of NIS poverty, old age poverty, up to 25% from 2024. As you go on, you add the years 62, 63, 64, 65, up to 25% of your salary. And we know that the NIS pension is already low. So when you work hard, you reach your maximum already and such. We're paying for other people's retirement and we are happy. But no, just as pension, we always pay the price. And we say it's unfair, unjust, and unfortunate for the teachers and public officers and workers of this country. So this is something that we take note of, and we want to engage in discussion with the government of Grenada, with the Ministry of Education, and the NIS to address this anomaly. It is wrong, unfair. And we say that teachers cannot work until age 65 in this stressful environment. We say no to that. And I say here, teachers want to be alive at age 65. Teachers want to be alive at age 65. So that's something we ought to take note of. Special pension, special pension. There are lots of teachers in the system who really work hard. Unfortunately, these teachers have not been really upgraded and such, and they do not reach the threshold for a really constitutional pension. We have Mr. Brother Dave Cox and other persons from Carriacou and Petit Matnik and in Grenada who really and truly retired, work for 38 and other years, and they cannot get a pension, and they are struggling. Special pension is available for teachers and other workers in that category, and that's something that we take note of, and we're asking to be resolved. Coming down, almost there. We ask the government of Grenada and NS to address these matters speedily. Special thanks to the Ministry of Education, So now I go down on them a little time, but I'm saying thanks now. It is good to say thanks. To the Honorable Minister for Education, Brother David Andrew, Mr. David Andrew, Honorable David Andrew, Prominent Secretaries, Mr. Aaron Francois and Mr. Elvis Morin, the Chief Education Officer, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, and other officials and members of staff at the Ministry of Education, we express our sincere thanks and appreciation to you for the investments in education, the nation's children and teachers. We thank you for helping to solve some of the burning issues that affect education and teachers. We look forward to the continuous dialogue and engagement as we work together for the transformation in education and for a stronger union and nation. Just a gentle reminder, though, to the Honorable Minister and other persons in education, when we are in school, you are our bosses. When the GOT sits around the table for meetings and engagements to deal with teachers' matters and education, we are equals and must be treated as such. Come on, don't be afraid to put your hands together. Don't be afraid. I take this opportunity to congratulate P.S. Francois and the man of the hour, the new CEO, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, and his new appointment. In our first engagement with Mr. Jeremiah, you did give me the assurance and give us the assurance that we are going to work together to advance the cause of teachers and education. Thank you very much, but we are watching you still. But so far, you are doing a good job. Come on, put your hands together and give him a round of applause because he had to work for us. So don't be afraid. Stimulate him and encourage him. Give him a good round of applause here today. Stand proud. My greetings to teachers as we come down. My fellow teachers, I wish to thank you most sincerely for your invaluable sacrifices and commitment to education, nation building, and to the Grenada Union of Teachers. Thank you for your support to the National Executive and for your unwavering prayers and support for your President General. Every day I am mindful that it is because of you I am here. Thank you for your confidence in me. I promise that I will always work on your behalf and I will never betray your trust and confidence in me. As you can see, this term is already fast coming to an end. But there is lots of work to be done for the next few years to come. With your President General, you're in a safe place, a safe pair of hands. I look forward to serving you as your President General for many years to come, not just to many years, and to bring you better and more better benefits from government and from the private sector. When I'm finished with you, and when we are finished with you, all the discounts from the various business establishments in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Matnik must be yours. Good and excellent leadership, strong representation, a strong and effective, powerful Grenada Union of Teachers, more benefits for all, above all, a stronger GOT, a stronger, educated, and productive nation. Your president has been tried and tested during the most difficult and challenging of times and has proven faithful to you and stood up to the test of time. No retreat, to show that I don't surrender or buck under pressure. No retreat, no surrender. Neither from the previous administration, the present administration, or anyone to come. Teacher Jude is the right man for the job. Excellent results, more better benefits, strong union, and excellent results. Come on, Brother Handel, Brother Marvin, put your hands together for me and for you. Once I did, you will stay. In my conclusion, I leave you with these few words. Malcolm X, education is the passport for the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Harry Bridges, the trade union movement represents the organized economic power of the workers. It is in reality the most potent and the most direct social insurance the workers can establish. Samuel Gompers, the most important word in the language of the working class is solidarity. Let us remember also that a strong union and a strong nation is not only about education, solidarity, productivity, and prosperity, but a transparent and upholding our Christian principles and values and virtues. Our nations can still be strong, and if we are not careful, we can go down the wrong direction. Our education system must build strong character, Christian morals, good and positive work ethics, and patriotic citizens. We must put God first in everything that we do. Fellow teachers, let us put our trust and confidence in Almighty God and in the Master Teacher, Jesus Christ, and be assured and encouraged by his prophetic words of Scripture. Psalm 1 verses 3, and I quote, "You shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruits in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does or she does shall prosper." I wish us all the best for a very productive and successful 2 days of conference as we plan the way forward for building a strong trade union movement and nation through the power of solidarity and education. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Brother Jude Bartholom. Let's have another round of applause. I ask you to briefly stand as we acknowledge the exit of Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General of Grenada. Thank you for being here with us. Please return to your seated positions. I now invite a student from the St. David's Catholic Secondary School to perform a cultural piece for us. Let us welcome the young man to the stage.
A pleasant good morning to all. I am Andre Fletcher, and I will be doing a poem on the theme of this conference, building a strong trade union movement and nation through the power of solidarity and education. In the union's sturdy embrace we stand, bound by solidarity hand in hand. United voices, a chorus strong, in the struggle for rights we belong. Through education's enlightened ray, we learn the power to pave our own way. Knowledge fuels the fire of our cause, guiding us forward, breaking unjust laws. With unity as our steadfast guide, we march together side by side, building a nation where justice reigns, where every worker's dignity remains. So let us raise our voices high, in solidarity we amplify. Together we'll forge a brighter morn, a testament to the power of being reborn. In the classrooms of union halls we meet, where wisdom and solidarity greet, learning from the struggles of the past, empowering our movement to steadfastly last. In the streets, our banners unfurl, as we fight for justice, our spirits swirl. Each step forward, a testament bold to the power of unity we proudly hold. With every victory, our resolve grows as solidarity's flame brightly glows. A nation built on fairness and right, guided by our union's unwavering light. So let us march on with hearts aglow. In solidarity's embrace we sow, for in the bonds of unity we find the strength to live in equality behind. I thank you.
Very well done, young Andre Fletcher. Now, at this point in time, we get the opportunity to welcome our featured speaker for this 60-second conference. As he has told me, he's not a big one for citations and long preludes, but he has afforded me the permission to let you know that he is a member of this branch, a son of St. David, a former teacher, principal, and a retired teacher now, and he's here to grace us, so let us welcome Brother Brian Charles.
Thank you very much, Brother Marshall. Please allow me to abbreviate the protocol list, which has been repeated to us several times, by just greeting the members of the head table and to say good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Thank you very much. In addition, I would have to truncate my presentation because, quite frankly, Her Excellency and our most eloquent President General have already mentioned much of what I had to mention, especially in the area of the union, the strength of the union, and also solidarity. So I would go straight into education. Before I say that, though, we want to acknowledge the contributions of our founding fathers, those who have gone before us, to make sure that this process is in place. This is the 62nd Annual General Conference. As a matter of fact, it is coincidental that this process was initiated in 1962, and we are celebrating the 62nd anniversary. The Constitution of the Grenada Union of Teachers mandates that this process takes place every year during the Easter vacation, and the Constitution also gives an outline of what needs to take place in this forum. And I must say, this is the highest decision-making forum of the Union and the most prestigious activity on its calendar. So I want to congratulate you, members of the Grenada Union of Teachers, on this 62nd anniversary, and to wish you all the best for the next 2 days. Education. I'm going to read you 4 scenarios, and we will just rest them, and hopefully by the time I'm finished, they will make sense to you. Ms. Alexander joined the staff of Mount Agnes Primary School in September 2018. 3 weeks later, the teachers' union called a sick out in protest for better salaries. Ms. Alexander went to a family doctor, obtained a sick leave certificate for the period of protest, which she submitted to her principal. Second scenario. The principal and staff of Palmis Primary School reviewed the areas for improvement and made plans to address these weaknesses during the ensuing school year. However, they put aside their plans to focus on areas recommended by the Ministry of Education based on the results of the CPA exams. Thirdly, James, a young man, was standing in the bus terminal for some time. After about 40 minutes, a policeman who was on duty in the area and had been observing him asked him to leave. After some verbal exchanges, the situation escalated into a heated argument and a scuffle ensued. James hurled obscenities and threats at the officer and fought off an arrest. Several persons who witnessed different stages of the incident shouted condescending comments at the policeman, made video recordings, and posted them on Facebook. Our last scenario. Based on the results of the annual CSEC examinations, it was observed that mathematics was the weakest area of performance. In an effort to address the problem, the Ministry of Education gave a directive that all schools in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique should put emphasis on the teaching of mathematics during the ensuing school year. So we rest them. Education is the foundation on which all pillars of society are built. And we heard about education from our President General and also from Her Excellency. It is said that education can get one to move up the socio-economic ladder. Through education, individuals acquire academic, technical, and vocational skills, acquire personal management skills, and I must mention a couple of them: time management, critical thinking, taking initiative. Through education and proper education, individuals should acquire teamwork skills, cooperation, adaptability, and patience, to name a few. Through education, individuals should acquire values and knowledge. Who is responsible for education? The Ministry of Education, led by the Minister and his team of officers, principals, teachers, and parents are responsible for the progress of the education system. And notice I said parents, because the type of product that you can make, and I can make, and we can make in the education system depends on the raw material that comes to us. Where do the first language take place? Not at the school. So when they come with the obscenities, we have to try our best to see if we could get them, as we say locally, to unlearn. Where do the eating habits come from? Children are not born with any specific taste, you know. We introduce taste to them. The parents introduce taste to them. And if they are not taught and trained repeatedly to enjoy our local products, to enjoy our local fruits and vegetables, they will develop a taste for what is fed to them. When they come to school, it makes it more challenging when the healthy meals are cooked at the kitchen. They don't want certain things. So it is very, very important for parents to understand their role in the education system. When children come with condescending comments based on what they heard from their parents, it makes it difficult for us to carry out our role effectively. The general goals of education and objectives as well are clearly listed in the Education Act, which was first compiled in 1976. And I will just read for you just a couple. The general goals and objectives of education. 1, the minister must establish a varied, adequate, and comprehensive education system that is characterized by excellence. I love that word, because I'm a person, I always believe in excellence. Whatever you put your hand to, do to the best of your ability. Excellence. 2, to promote the education of people of Grenada by establishing educational institutions which will foster the spiritual, cultural, moral, intellectual, physical, social, and economic development of the community. And this one is very important. All the others are important, but I love this one because you would understand why I say this a little later on. To establish a coordinated education system in accordance with the Act. A coordinated education system in accordance with the Act. This gathering here, and we as educators, are only a fragment of the education system. It's a majority, but a fragment. There is another sector that we have to talk about, which must come into play if we want to improve our society and improve our nation. Worthy of note, the holistic development of the individual. Education should not be biased. It should cater for the holistic development of the child, especially nowadays. It must contribute to meeting the needs of society. What are the needs of society? We'll mention them in a while. It must be a coordinated system. It must contribute to building a stronger nation. If education is not done effectively, the nation would not be strong. What are some of the needs of society? 1, our consumption patterns. We are quickly becoming, or we have become, a consumer society. Whatever hits the stores in New York, they reach down to Grenada. Whatever hits the stores in London, they reach down to Grenada. Whatever it is, we are consumer society. The music, if you listen to the music, the majority of our music are not local, that's being played on the radio. And some of the music that's being played on the radio should not be played on the radio because they are not meant for the radio. Dancehall music was never meant for the radio. Dancehall music was made for the dancehall. So when the DJs get in the dancehall and they do the violent shootout and you kill a song boy, it don't mean you cut out the song boy neck, you know. But people listening that might get that idea. So we have to be very careful with the type of music that we listen to, especially. And further to that, let me give you a little spiritual advice. I don't know if some persons are aware. Some music have evil recordings in the background. Yes, to influence behavior. Let me tell you, you go to the dance hall and you play a certain type of music, fellas sit in the roof, you know. I was at a function in St. Paul's Community Center, and a DJ man was playing for the youths. DJ Harrow was outside, DJ Harrow, Emerald Harris. He shook his head, and he said, "Beer coming back." And he went into that dance hall, And he started to play a line of music, and a piece just went into the dance hall. Peace. He started to play some lovely Bob Marley, and some Bunny Wailer, and some Peter Tosh, and the atmosphere changed. The power of music. What about our clothes and styles? Consumers. Ladies, this is for you. Men don't answer because I already know what you would say. Ladies, is it okay for one of you to be walking around the streets in a public place with a fishnet dress with the underwear revealing? Is it okay? Have you seen that here? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Styles, we are consumers. I saw this one on Facebook. I really should have made a note of it. There was this celebrity in America out in public with his wife. Fishnet dress, no underwear. Did anybody else see it? Yes, it was there. Fishnet dress, no underwear. And I'm going to tell you, before long, it would hit the streets of Grenada because we are a consumer society. It's already here. Yes? There seems to be a proliferation of tattoo and body piercings. That's not West Indian. These tattoo and body piercings, they originate from the celebrities in the US, particularly the sports players. The first chap I saw with all these tattoos was Dennis Rodman. And before you know it, it went through. I saw LeBron James with a short pants, suit, and a sneakers. Before you know it, through the Caribbean. So those are consuming, we are consuming those things. Other goods and services. It seems to be sometimes that foreign is better. Foreign is better. But we have to understand that there must be an improvement in our consumption patterns. There must be an improvement in strong moral and values. Why are there so many missing teens? If an individual values himself or herself, would he live and go and spend all his time with a male, not companion, but a male individual? Because sometimes they're not companions. Little girls with big grown men, little boys with big grown men. At one time, we had to be afraid for our girls. Now we have to be afraid for our boys and our girls because both sex go missing. Morals and values are important. If an individual has self-worth, that may be limiting. As a matter of fact, where do they go? Do they go on retreat? Do they go and study? Where do they go? Well, we all know. And the funny thing is that you are never told after. All we are told, they're found. They're found. Well, tell us what you find them doing now. They're found. They're found. There must be need for patriotism in our country. Too many of our public property is being vandalized. Look at the toilets in the market. I saw it on the news. People just go in and just break them up. A lot of roadsides are put up all over the country to warn motorists, breaking them up. They come into schools and they're just doing things. My heart went out for Jenny in St. Andrew's Anglican. As though they have a spite for Jenny. Only go and burn the girls' school, just burning the girls' school. There's need for a certain level of patriotism, and we have to teach it. Cleanliness. The most enjoyable time I had in Grenada in my entire life was January and February. Clean up, the place nice. Everybody cleaning up, a frenzy about cleaning up. But that should not be restricted to them. That should be a lifestyle. That should be a common practice that we do. My hobby is going by the sea, fishing. And ladies and gentlemen, comrades, it is just ridiculous to see the amount of garbage that ends up by the sea. It's just ridiculous. Tons and tons of plastic bottles and styrofoam and all sorts of garbage washed down. We have to do better than that because they enter the reefs, they affect marine life. There must be respect for others in authority, especially the police. Must be respect. I don't know what's happening these days, but it seems as though especially young men just lose respect for the police. And they just say whatever they want and do what they want and carry on. And people cheer them on, they spur them on, they fuel them. Yes, respect for law and order. We have to understand that people should not just put developmental activities anyhow. I'm going to just put my garage here, block the road, to hell with who have to go on top. Fire truck cannot access the people up there. Water truck cannot go up. Garbage truck cannot go up. But I put my garage there. And they have hamburger a man from eating a food. That to eat a food. So we have to understand the orderly development. There's need for positive work ethics. Yes, oh gosh, there's a problem. You go to some place and you're wondering what's going on. And I don't like to call these days, because when you call, somebody tell you hold on, and you have to hold on, and somebody go tell you hold on, and you hold on, or they put you on a machine, and the machine just going. Do you know your party's extension? Positive work ethics. Put a secretary there for her to answer the phone properly and direct you. Yes, direct you. There is need for divergent thinking in relation to career choices. Divergent thinking in relation to career choices, a big deal. Ever so often, and this seems to be a big something in schools now, from pre-primary up, career day. Career day. The last one I saw was from St. Joseph Catholic School in Monjaloo. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, friends, you've seen teachers, you've seen lawyers, you've seen doctors, you've seen firemen, you've seen policemen, but I ain't seen farmers, I ain't seen fishermen, I ain't seen carpenters, I ain't seen masons. So let me ask you now, who is going to fix the doctor's car? He go give the car a tablet? Who's going to build the doctor's house? So we have to have our children thinking divergently, especially now where the economy is all embracing. There is the creative economy, where there's need for divergence into other areas. Right now, there are a lot of big projects taking place in the country. And do you know, skilled labor in some areas have to be imported? So why they should be imported? I look at a piece of construction taking place in the Point Salim area, and I say to myself, a few of our young men could be trained to do that. It's not difficult. It's to put up some fancy roof over some villas. Our young men could do that, but you have to bring up guys from Venezuela to do it. So there's need for divergent thinking. There's critical need for improvement in the use of the cell phone. That's a type of education you have to get into ourselves and get into our children. And let me tell you, it is wrong for anybody to post a picture on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, including somebody else, if you don't get the person's permission. It is absolutely wrong. But people love to do it. People love to do it. We go into a function and you post, you record and you post and you post. You are not supposed to post any picture with you and any child from the school if you don't get the parents' permission. And we do it. That's the type of education we have to have. You see? As a matter of fact, I was in a particular place last week, and I heard a guy quarreling. Hey, test what happened to you? Boy, make a turn last night. I didn't tell my girl. Next thing she sent me a picture for me and say, yeah, so they winding up with the woman on the boat. And she showed him the picture. Some friend of hers took the snap, sent it to her. You know what that could cause? That mashing up living. Huh? Mashing up living. So we have to be very careful. Ladies and gentlemen, the latest innovation in technology, artificial intelligence. And it is wrong for any individual, any commercial enterprise, any promoter to use somebody's voice and image to make a recording for any function. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's a crime. I saw one of the former President Barack Obama advertising for a function here. Listen to me. If you're in America, that's big lawsuit, you know. $1 million lawsuit. That's wrong. I saw one with the former Prime Minister libelous thing. I saw one with the present Prime Minister libelous thing. That's wrong. So there's need, ladies and gentlemen, for us to get a proper grip on the use of the cell phone, recordings and postings. Now, as practitioners in the education system, it is important that we ourselves improve so that we could do a better delivery of educational services. Through academic, technical, and vocational development and other forms of learning, one builds valuable assets that society needs. Learning, when you learn, you build assets. Whatever skill, you build assets. Knowledge and intelligence are intellectual property, very useful. Books, ideas, magazines, And that is right in your domain because you are filled with intellectual property. And you know what happens sometimes? People in the media especially want to use your intellectual property free. Not supposed to happen. Not supposed to happen. When they call you to be on a panel discussion on the TV or radio, you are supposed to be paid for your intellectual property. Simple. They are being paid, you know. Yes, why do you think they have these commercials between them? They're making big money. So we have to understand that intellectual property is valuable. Don't you pay the doctor for his ideas? Don't you pay the diagnostic man when they come to tell you what's wrong with the fridge? One came by me the last time, something in the fridge blow. He tell me what happened, $150 to go and buy something and come back. When we go down Grenada, I say, chap, what you charge me the $150 for? He said, teacher, my idea. Gotta pay for my idea. Intellectual property. In addition, people's songs are being used. When a person's song or the music is used, according to the Copyright Act, they're supposed to be compensated. One of the soca artists could stop a promoter from using his song to promote a show, you know. Yes, intellectual property. And as I said, that is in your domain. At present, ladies and gentlemen, there are 35 licensed radio operators in Grenada. 35. 4 television stations. What is the basic raw material? Intellectual property. That's what they use. People's music and their ideas. And why are there so many radio stations? Because it's a viable business now. Grenadians like to talk, so you have calling program and you think, and you call them and you this and that and so on. So we have to understand intellectual property and how people use our intellectual property. There should be improvement, as I said before, in terms of values. Now, we all have friends that we love to be around. Nice, encouraging, positive, always have an idea, supportive, jovial, with a positive spirit. These are assets. Assets. They add to whatever environment. And then there are those liabilities. Lord, we prefer them not to be around. They're negative. They are the principal truth. They're beating on ideas. Everything bothering them. Everything threatening them. Those are liabilities. Liabilities. And society needs assets, not liabilities. Assets. When we think about the 390 inmates at Her Majesty's prison, those are liabilities. They're not producing. When we think about the 5,300 households on the SEED program, those are liabilities. They're not producing. And some of them could produce, you know. Some of them could produce liabilities. So if we want to improve our education system, ladies and gentlemen, we have to decide whether we want to be an asset to the development of the country, or a liability. And I would encourage you, try to be an asset. Be supportive. Be encouraging. You know, be jovial. Don't beat down every idea. And negative, right? They have some friends, I don't like to meet them. Before you meet them, they weigh you down with that sort of thing. You know, don't matter where they meet you, or they going, and, oh gosh, man, stop. Be positive. Be positive. Embrace every opportunity for learning, ladies and gentlemen. Every opportunity. Whatever aspect we could get for learning, we have to embrace it. For example, every school should have a copy of the Constitution of Grenada. It gives the fundamental rights of citizens. This should be part of every school's armory after the Bible. The Code of Ethics for the governance of the teaching profession, valuable information for learning. The President General mentioned some of those aspects. The Constitution of the Grenada Union of Teachers, valuable. The members' kit, and you young teachers are among us, grab a hold of them. Every school, as I said, make sure you have a copy and give the young teachers to read. And of course, the Education Act. James, for example, who was standing in the bus terminal was not aware that he was breaking the law. If James was aware of what the Constitution says, and if James was aware of what the law says, by the way, the Constitution, although it is the supreme law of the land, it does not have everything. You have to get other aspects from the Ministry of Legal Affairs. But there are certain basic aspects that could be taught. And listen, James, who was standing in the bus terminal, was not aware that he was breaking the law, you know. James thought he stand up there doing nothing except standing up. Hey, James was loitering in a public place. James broke the law. Further to that, James is liable to receive about 5 charges or more. Loitering in a public place, the use of threatening language, the use of offensive language, obstruction of assault on a police officer, etc., etc. The persons who went on videotaping and recording could also be charged. They could be charged for obstruction of duties, the use of the cell phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying all of this to say, knowledge of the law would avoid certain pitfalls. Whenever I'm in St. George's during school hours and after school, I usually make a trip around the bus terminal. I'm looking for children. I just give them a little guidance. Why are you in the back here? I'm waiting on a thing. I say, well, they can't wait on a thing here. Go in the breweries and get a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be correct in terms of industrial actions. And therefore, if we want to improve our solidarity, please try to see if you could develop in terms of industrial actions, so that just in case something reaches the court, you will be correct. For example, strike does not mean staying home. Get that clear. Strike does not mean staying home. There's a way to get around it. Our employer is here, so I wouldn't tell you here. I could tell you in another forum, but there's a way to get around it. But strike does not mean staying home. No. And further to that, principals, anytime the union calls for a strike, you have to go and open the public school. If it's a sick out, you have to go and open the school. If you do not open the school, you are infringing on the rights and freedoms of other members of staff. Not everybody wants to do everything. They must be allowed their free will. You have to open the school. As I mentioned about strike, we all are aware that the nature of teaching does not always allow us to go and not work, because we're so kind-hearted and nice and loving and sensitive. To go on the job and don't work it very hard. But you know, strike, you're supposed to go on the job and withhold your labor. Yeah, that's what it is, you know. Go and withhold your labor. As I said, I could tell you how to get around it in another forum, right? So we're going to do that. Sick out. Miss went to her family doctor and got a sick leave for sick out. But Miss wasn't really wrong, you know. No, first of all, sick out could only be for 2 days. And listen what must happen. Principal, you have to be at your desk to receive the phone calls from the teachers who cannot come. You must be there. You have to be there to receive the phone calls. No WhatsApp message. Anybody could take a WhatsApp message and send it. You have to be there to receive the messages. I'm calling. Good morning, Mr. Jeremiah. I would like to report that I am unable to attend work today. I'm sick. Mr. Jeremiah goes to his records and he records at so-and-so time, Brian Charles called me to indicate that he's not able to come to work. If that matter reaches court, there's documentation. Because a lot of times people do not understand until things reach the court. So we have to ensure that we are proper, we are correct legally when we are making certain decisions in terms of industrial action. As I mentioned about sick out, it can be for 2 days, according to what we have to do. Then you go back out to work, and another 2 days, and so on and so on, without a sick leave. Or as well, you could just get sick leave, no problem. I got one. I remember I was working in a school on the western side, and I got one doing some strike action. Not one, I got a few. And you know what was the diagnosis? Generalized malaise. Generalized malaise. I say, well, everybody has malaise. Generalized malaise. But at least it was documented and done properly. Now, with reference to the delivery of education, it is not the responsibility of the Ministry of Education to give directives for improvement to take place. And that's a serious problem we have inherited over the years, where directives just come from the Ministry of Education. Anyhow, all kind of means. And you know what? Sometimes they seem subjective, meaning now that they are not really national policies. They seem to come and go based on who occupies the chair. What about the SED program? What happened to the SED program? What happened to the high scope language arts program? What happened to the Jollyphonics? What about the Spanish? What happened to the Spanish? Huh? What about the performance appraisal? Are you getting your increments? We were told that once you meet your objective, you're supposed to get increments. That's how the thing was sold to us. And we were saying it is not sustainable because the service go according to scales and you're going to reach your maximum and that's it. You can't get your increment every year, but that's what you were sold to us by Judas. How long will we keep experimenting with universal secondary education? We have done it so many times and it's every now and then it comes up. Huh? What's about the ranking in exams? What's the purpose of ranking in exams? Especially at the lower level. What's the purpose of the ranking? Friends, comrades, ranking is not a true reflection of the best. Never. And when we have our graduation ceremonies, don't pick the child who comes first in the school for our valedictorian. Pick the all-wrong child. The all-wrong individual. Yes. Yeah? Listen, let us use a practical example. Let's use a practical example. At the moment, Grenada would agree on who our most outstanding athlete is. Who's our most outstanding athlete? Now, I would like you and me to have a more critical eye and analyze this thing properly. Now, here we have it. One individual specializes in one particular event. Yes, reaches the world stage, gets a medal, one particular event for under 50 seconds. And you want to tell me he's better than a man who specializes in 10 over a period of 2 days, reaching at the world stage? Who better? Listen, I'm not trying to downplay the value of any medal or anything like that. All I'm saying is that we have to look at it with a critical eye, critical thought. I accept Grenada as the most outstanding, fine, but we who are in the education system, we have to see it with a microscopic eye. We have to analyze better, critical thought. Don't pick the athlete who comes first in one race as the most outstanding athlete. The Victor Laudorium is a person who performs well in many races. As I'm saying, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just trying to make a reference to help us to understand critical thinking. Now, what is our standardized plan of action? If we are saying that directives shouldn't come from the Ministry of Education, what is our standardized plan of action? This is how improvement takes place. One, you have to establish, articulate, and maintain core values. Establish them, articulate them, maintain core values. And we must have national focus. For example, cleanliness should be a core value in every school in Grenada curriculum. Patriotism should be a core value in every school, and we should be working towards them. So establish core values. There are 7 characteristics of an effective school. We have to ensure that our school is aligned with those 7 characteristics. Time does not permit me to go into each of them now. We must have a vibrant co-curricular program, not only academics, a vibrant co-curricular program. We must do an annual auditing of our education system, or school, annual auditing. That's what the business people do. You take all the exam papers, external, internal, you analyze them, you look for areas of weaknesses. For example, the Ministry of Education would have said, work on mathematics. But based on your results, mathematics may not have been a weak area. Your weak area probably was language arts. So why go and work on mathematics and you go there? So the point I'm making is each school must analyze and audit their own system, identify the areas of weaknesses, plan, execute, evaluate. That's how progress comes. Because the needs vary. The needs vary. I worked in the education system for many years as a principal, and my teachers would tell you, when I go to meeting, that used to be my password. I'm going with a big strainer. You know why I'm going with a big strainer? Some things just sieve out and I go on with that. There are things I would never bring back to my staff because they're not practical. Let's analyze our own system and we work on them and we get to our encouragement, get to our improvement. Don't forget, self-audit. Don't be afraid to audit yourself, you know. But I was amazed when I did it in a grade 6 class 1 year. You'd be amazed to hear the things children say that they like and they don't like about you. Imagine children telling me they don't like my nose flat. What could do? My nose flatty flat? So we like son, but we find son who's flat. What? That has nothing to do with my performance. I'm just saying that to say you'd be amazed to see what you get when you audit, self-audit. Let the children tell you. Reflect yourself in them. But your shoulders have to be broad, you know. When they tell you things, don't hate them, you know. Accept it for what it's worth and use it to improve yourself. You will be amazed. Use that strainer if you must, yes. Use that strainer. You'll be amazed. And you ladies, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a lot of compliments. They like this, they like that, they like the other, all sorts of things. But don't be afraid to audit. Audit in performance. Self-audit. Don't be afraid of it. In addition to that, always observe. Observe. What are the needs? Look at them when they are playing. Look at them on the bus. Look at them in the kitchen. Look at them the way they clothes. And you are observing areas for improvement. Look at them when they socialize. You're observing areas for improvement. Because life is about socialization, you know. Life is not about certification. I'm standing before you here, and you are not seeing on my forehead my certification. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, why come here and read out a litany of achievements and qualifications that has nothing to do with the theme? Why? What's the purpose of that? Let me tell you what is related to the theme, and I'll tell you about myself now. I grew up in a small village, went to school barefoot, no school bag. We used to put our books down here when we want to go in Mango. Okay? Our home, based on where we live, no running water in taps. There were a couple of standpipes in the village. That was our source of water. No electricity in the village, lamp and candle. I went to St. Dominic's Primary School, got my success there. Went to GBSS, got my success. Went to TAMCC, got my success. Did my university exam, got my success. Through the power of education. Education took me out from poverty and just helped me to move up the ladder. We have to instill that in our children. There are no rejects. No rejects in our system. Just be patient. Just be patient. And let me give you the secret. Look out for those in the lower strata of the socio-economic ladder. Look out for them. They would never forget you. Never, never forget you. I was telling a friend of mine last week, I walk around wherever I go, whichever city, with just some money in my pocket, my wallet. No cards, no ID, nothing. And she asked me why. I said, let me tell you something. Almost everywhere I go, somebody go pull me out, you know. Hey, might you teach a bride? You see? And a lot of times are those that came from down there when they remind you, but you don't even remember what you did, you know. You don't remember what they remind you. So let us look out for them. And don't be afraid to help them out. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, there is an unregulated sector of education in Grenada that must be addressed. There are public schools, and there are the other type of schools. The other type of schools are unregulated. Anywhere somebody wants to go and put a school for economic purpose, you put it. You don't care how they enter, how they live, whether they have a place to play, whether the business is duly registered, and licensed, whether because it's a business, whether they pay in their fair share of taxes, nothing so. Education officers don't go there, they just left to do what they want. And a lot of times, especially with exams, dishonesty. And they are rated as high. Where are they today? They're out there. Dangerous. That sector must be regulated because they do a lot of damage. My good friend, Mr. Jeremiah, is here. And I'm trying to look for another principal from a secondary school. And they will tell you, and I'm not afraid to say it, the most disciplined children at these levels come from the private schools. They didn't get sufficient time to play. They didn't enjoy themselves. They were bulldozed into academics for success. So a name could be called. When I have friends in the Ministry of Education and I get all the competency test paper before and I give my children and they pass, my school good, dishonesty. So we have to regulate that sector. Must regulate that sector. As a matter of fact, there are 25 of such schools in Grenada. 21 primary, 4 secondary. That sector must be regulated for national development, for improving the nation, for producing all-round citizens. When the children live there, they must be able to sing a soca and plant a seed and bake something and do what and what and what. So we have to regulate that sector. As I close, I want to encourage you. This is the time when we have to keep the spirit of the union alive. And so, please, those who have gone before made a lot of sacrifice. You will not understand the sacrifices that Brother Bartholomew and my good friend, Mr. Andal, and my associate, Mr. Kenny James. You will never understand the struggles they have to go through, especially with salary negotiations. All kind of names. You remember when we were called greedy and inconsiderate and enemies of progress and thieves and greedy people want to meet you in the street and shout words at you, "Are you greedy? Are you greedy?" You remember those days? So, because of the struggles we are here today, I'm encouraging the younger folks among us, keep the spirit of the union alive. Keep it alive. Whatever you can do to improve yourself, you do it. And make sure that the education system remain in strong hand. Long live the spirit of trade unionism in Grenada. Long live the spirit of the Grenada Union of Teachers. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes me strong. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Brother Brian Charles. We are almost at the end. We will now have a cultural presentation from the Wester Hall Secondary School. The driver of PA 426, your lights are on, your headlights are on. The driver of PA 426, kindly check upon your vehicle. Thank you very much to the wonderful students of the Wester Hall Secondary School. Very well done. The final agenda on our final item on our agenda is the vote of thanks. However, before we do so, over the past year, for which this conference covers, we have had quite a few members of our union, present, retired, and past, who would have made the ultimate sacrifice and transitioned away from this life. These members include, but are not limited to, Ms. Agatha John Noel, Mr. Albert Forsyth, Ms. Melissa McIntyre, Mrs. Marjorie Strawn, Mr. William Steele, Ms. Claudia Roberts, Mr. Kendon Berkeley, Ms. Gemma Wilson, Ms. Elsia Ferguson, and Ms. Pamela H. George. I ask you to join with me for a minute's silence in remembrance of their efforts and sacrifice. Marjorie George, thank you. Andre George, thank you. Andre George, thank you very much. Joy Lambert. Felicity Bell. Forgive me, the list I have is from the last calendar year, so thank you for those I missed. I apologize. We begin now. May their souls rest in peace. I invite Second Vice President, Brother Tommy Duncan, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Her Excellency, Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General, Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, Senator Andre Lewis, Labour Senator and President of the Grenada Trade Unions Council, and other union representatives, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, Chief Education Officer and other officers from the Ministry of Education, Brother Jude Bartholomew, President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Mr. Brian Charles, our keynote speaker, Father Gabriel Asang, and other religious ministers, past presidents, and other past officers of the Grenada Union of Teachers. Brother Frankson Marshall, first Vice President and Chairperson for this proceeding, Sister Melissa St. Rose, General Secretary, Sister Kendra Batiste, President of St. David Branch, awardees, principals, retired teachers, representatives from the media, and other invited guests. Ladies and gentlemen, all, good afternoon. On behalf of the Grenada Union of Teachers and the National Executive, first and foremost, we must thank God for his blessing that he gave us good, fine weather today and allowing us the opportunity to gather here today. I extend heartfelt gratitude to Her Excellency, in her absence, Dame Cecile La Grenade, for her kind remarks, presentation of honorary membership, and graciously declaring the conference open, setting a tone of inspiration and purpose for our gathering. We are indebted to Mr. Brian Charles for his illuminating keynote address, which provides valuable insight and perspective, laying a solid foundation for a discussion going forward. We hear, we listen, so we heard, and we have internalized. We extend our sincere thanks to you, Honorable Minister David Andrew, Minister of Education, for sharing the thoughts and vision, underscoring the importance of education in shaping our future, and for presentation of awards. Our gratitude also extends to our Chairperson and Vice President, Brother Frankson Marshall, for his leadership and guidance throughout the conference and ensuring its success. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt thank you is extended to the President of St. David Branch, Sister Kendra Batiste, and her branch members for your hospitality, and graciousness in hosting these esteemed gatherings. We do feel welcome. We express our appreciation to Sister Terenika Lett for her stirring rendition of the national anthem, instilling a sense of pride and unity among us. Our heartfelt thank you to Father Gabriel Osang for his solemn invocation, setting a tone of reverence and reflection as we embark on our deliberation. We commend the St. David branch for the uplifting praise and worship, and it was indeed uplifting. They have fostered an atmosphere of spiritual renewal and camaraderie. Our gratitude goes out to you, our General Secretary, Sister Melissa St. Rose, for the solidarity messages from both home and abroad, reminding us of the importance of unity and collaboration in our endeavor. We are grateful, and very much grateful, to young Christian Niles of the Current Government School, young Andre Fletcher, the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, and the Westall Secondary School for the captivated cultural presentation, enriching us and making sure that our experience was good. Thank you. How can we forget? You can go ahead and clap. How can we forget the generosity of the staff and principal of the Board of Management of the St. Joseph Catholic School, Primrose, for allowing us the facilities that we are using here now. Sincere thanks to you. To you teachers, retired teachers, and principals, and special invited guests, we thank you. Last but not least, our awardees, we thank you for your service. In conclusion, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration, inspiration, and purpose cultivated in this conference as we strive toward building a strong trade union movement and nation through solidarity and education. Thank you all for your participation and your contribution. Warm regards. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this ceremony. Allow me to indicate to you how we will utilize the spalling compound for the purposes of lunch. The top floor, National Executive, heads of committees, awardees, and special invitees